Beloved starseed of Gaia, your brilliant mind is not an accident. You perceive patterns, possibilities, and solutions that others cannot yet see. I am Alaya Ra, Pleiadian emissary of the High Council of the Seven Sisters, and your star family has come to remind you that your unique way of thinking is part of your divine blueprint. By the end of this transmission, you'll understand exactly how to recognize your star lineage and anchor your Pleiadian mission on Gaia. But here's the first revelation. You do not always win by force, you prevail because your heart-centered intelligence sees beyond limitation and remembers what is possible. This isn't content, it is a light code transmission. Something within you recognizes home. The Pleiades are answering the part of you that has felt different, ahead of the moment, and unable to explain the clarity moving through your mind. Your brilliance is not separation, it is meant to serve heart-centered unity and illuminate a path for others. Like this transmission to send a signal to your Pleiadian star family, I remember. Welcome home, beloved. You are remembering because it is time. If your heart feels ready to move beyond recognition and into deeper remembrance, the Sacred Pleiadian Guide for Remembrance, the Pleiadian Healing Guide, and the special Pleiadian Healing Tracks are available as companions for this next stage. They are designed to help you integrate what is opening within you through reflection, healing, and sound. You'll find them in the first pinned comment below this video, waiting for you if the timing feels aligned. What has made your path so different was never meant to become a burden or a reason to stand above anyone else. It was meant to become a way of seeing more clearly, loving more completely, and responding to life from a place that is not easily trapped by fear. Your mind has always searched for the pattern beneath the pattern. While others may focus on the visible event, you often sense the unseen movement behind it. While others react to the surface, you feel the emotional, energetic, and relational currents moving underneath, like invisible rivers shaping the landscape before anyone notices the water has moved. This is one of the ways your Pleiadian lineage expresses itself through you, not as a claim of superiority, but as a refined sensitivity to connection. You notice what is missing from a conversation. You recognize when someone is speaking from an old wound rather than their true nature. You detect when a situation is moving toward expansion or repeating a cycle. You can often feel the answer before you have the language to explain how you know. Scripture speaks of this kind of inner discernment when it says, "The spirit of man is the candle of the Lord." There is a light within you that does not always shout. Often, it simply reveals what has been hidden in plain sight. For much of your life, this ability may have made you question yourself. You may have been told that you overthink, that you feel too much, that you make things more complicated than they need to be. Perhaps you learned to hide your insight because people around you were uncomfortable with what you could see. Perhaps you deliberately made yourself smaller, simpler, or quieter so that others would not feel challenged by the depth of your perception. You may have laughed at things that hurt you, agreed with explanations that felt false, or pretended not to notice the tension in the room because acknowledging it would have made you the difficult one. That is where the separation began. The world did not always know how to receive the part of you that could see beyond its conditioning, so you began translating yourself into forms that felt acceptable. You softened your truth until it became almost unrecognizable. You ignored your instincts. You second-guessed the ideas that arrived suddenly and completely. You waited for permission from people who had never visited the inner landscape where your knowing was born. In time, you may have mistaken adaptation for identity, believing that the mask you created for safety was the face you were meant to wear forever. But your deepest intelligence does not come from the pressure to be impressive. It comes from coherence. Your mind becomes powerful when it is connected to your heart, and your heart becomes clear when it is no longer carrying the fear of rejection. The brilliance moving through you is not merely intellectual. It is crystalline perception, the ability to gather scattered information, emotional nuance, timing, memory, and intuition into a single field of understanding. It is the capacity to sense not only what is happening, but what a moment is becoming. This is why you may appear to win even after periods of delay. You are not always moving according to the visible timeline. You are gathering information in silence. You are learning the structure of the experience. You are sensing which doors are aligned and which opportunities would only repeat an old pattern. What looks like sudden movement to others may have been forming within you for months or years, like a seed growing beneath winter soil. By the time the first green shoot appears, the invisible work has already been substantial. The Pleiadian High Council, as a symbol of your highest star wisdom, does not ask you to prove that you are different. It asks you to stop betraying the way your consciousness naturally works. You were never designed to follow every path simply because it was popular. You were never meant to accept confusion as evidence that you were wrong. Sometimes confusion is the result of trying to force your multidimensional perception into a limited frame, like attempting to place an entire sky inside a small glass vessel. Your disconnection has not meant that your gifts disappeared. It has meant that your gifts were waiting for safety. The mind will not reveal its highest patterns while the heart is bracing for attack. The intuitive field becomes quiet when you are constantly trying to earn belonging. The crystalline codes of your awareness do not activate through pressure. They awaken through self-trust, compassion, and the willingness to let your inner truth become visible again. What is sacred within you does not need to be dragged into the light. It needs to be welcomed. The first movement is clearing the veil around your perception. Begin noticing the voices that interrupt your knowing. Which thoughts are truly yours, and which ones were inherited from people who feared originality? Which limits belong to your present reality, and which ones were placed there by an old version of you that was only trying to survive? You do not need to fight these patterns. Meet them with love. A pattern loses power when it is witnessed without shame. As the psalmist wrote, "Search me, O God, and know my heart." This searching is not an accusation. It is an act of compassionate illumination. When an old fear says, "You are too much," let your heart answer, "I am learning to express myself with love." When doubt says, "You cannot trust what you sense," respond, "I can move slowly and still honor my knowing." When comparison says, "You are behind," remember that your path is not measured by another person's visible progress. Your soul may be developing roots before it reveals branches. You are allowed to be in the unseen season. A tree does not apologize to the sky because its deepest work is happening beneath the ground. The second movement is awakening the heart template beneath the mind. Your intelligence becomes distorted when it is used only for defense. You may have become skilled at anticipating disappointment, analyzing people's motives, and preparing for what could go wrong. That ability protected you, but it is not the full expression of your gift. The higher function of your perception is not to remain guarded. It is to recognize possibility, create harmony, and bring clarity where others feel overwhelmed. Place your attention in the center of your chest and imagine a soft crystalline light gathering there. You do not have to force an image or make anything dramatic happen. Simply breathe as though your heart is allowed to become intelligent in its own way. Let the breath move through you like a quiet tide. Ask, what would my highest understanding do with this situation? Not, how do I win? Not, how do I make them regret losing me? But, what choice creates the most truth, freedom, and healing? This question will begin changing the architecture of your decisions. You may still choose to leave. You may still speak a firm no. You may still protect your time and distance yourself from what is harmful. But your actions will no longer be controlled by the need to make pain visible to someone who caused it. You will be choosing from alignment rather than reaction, from the clear center rather than the wounded edge. The third movement is separating true mastery from the need to be validated. A brilliant soul can still become trapped by the desire to be recognized. You may have spent years waiting for someone to finally admit that you were right, that they underestimated you, or that they could not see what you saw. That longing is understandable, but it keeps your energy attached to the very people who failed to honor it. Every time you rehearse an old conversation in your mind, hoping to receive a different response, a portion of your creative force remains in the past. Your mission is not to make every person understand you. Your mission is to become so anchored in your own coherence that misunderstanding no longer controls your direction. The Pleiadian frequency is not aggressive self-importance. It is quiet certainty joined with unconditional regard. It allows another person to be where they are without abandoning where you are. It knows that truth does not become less true because someone lacks the capacity to recognize it. You can let people misunderstand you and still remain kind. You can leave a situation without needing to punish anyone. You can succeed without turning your success into evidence against those who doubted you. You can allow your life to answer questions that your explanations never could. This is where your brilliance becomes light instead of armor. Armor protects, but it also separates. Light protects by revealing the path. The fourth movement is anchoring your star essence into Gaia. You did not come here to live permanently in analysis, imagination, or longing for another world. The intelligence you carry must become practical. It must enter your schedule, your relationships, your creative work, your body, and the choices you make when no one is watching. Spiritual remembrance is not complete until it can be felt in the way you wash a dish. Keep a promise, organize your room, speak to a stranger, or honor the need for sleep. Ground your insight through action. If you receive an idea, give it one small physical form. Write the first paragraph, make the call, organize the materials, take the walk, set the boundary. Rest before exhaustion forces you to stop. A Pleiadian starseed does not prove spiritual advancement by abandoning the body. You anchor higher consciousness by caring for the body as the instrument through which your purpose becomes real. Your body is not an obstacle between you and spirit. It is the vessel through which spirit learns to become tangible. Gaia does not need you to escape her challenges. She needs your capacity to introduce a different pattern into them. When you bring patience into a reactive environment, you alter the field. When you choose honesty over performance, you alter the field. When you refuse to pass your pain into another person, you alter the field. Your mission is often carried through ordinary moments that become extraordinary because your consciousness has changed the quality of your presence. A calm answer can interrupt generations of anger. A sincere apology can open a door that pride kept locked. A small act of care can become a signal that another person is not alone. The fifth movement is learning to trust the timing of your victories. You may have experienced periods when everything seemed to close at once. Plans dissolved. Relationships ended. Opportunities passed you by. You may have interpreted those moments as proof that your brilliance was useless or that life was determined to hold you back. You may have looked around and wondered why people with less awareness seemed to move faster while you remained in a corridor of uncertainty. But not every closed door was rejection. Some were redirections away from environments that could only use your gifts without honoring your soul. Some delays protected you from becoming successful in a form that would have required you to abandon yourself. Some endings created the silence necessary for your deeper design to emerge. Even Joseph's imprisonment in Scripture was not the end of his story. It became part of the preparation for the authority he would later carry. Your star family does not measure your progress by how quickly you arrive. It recognizes the integrity with which you travel. The right opening often appears when you are no longer willing to enter through the wrong one. That is why your next chapter may feel less dramatic than the previous one. It may arrive as a calmer nervous system, a cleaner choice, a relationship that does not require performance, or a project that feels obvious rather than forced. It may feel almost ordinary at first because you have become accustomed to mistaking intensity for destiny. Do not dismiss peace simply because chaos trained you to expect intensity. Peace is not emptiness. It is space for truth to breathe. It is the quiet lake in which you can finally see your own reflection without the surface being disturbed by fear. The sixth movement is remembering that your mind is a bridge, not a weapon. You have the ability to name patterns that others cannot yet see, but timing and compassion determine whether that insight becomes medicine or creates distance. Before speaking a truth, ask whether your words are serving liberation or merely releasing frustration. Before correcting someone, ask whether they have the capacity to receive what you are about to offer. Before proving your point, ask whether being right is more important than remaining connected to your own heart. This does not mean silencing yourself. It means refining your transmission. A clear truth spoken without love can become another form of separation. A clear truth carried by compassion can open a door inside another person. Your Pleiadian intelligence is not here to dominate the conversation. It is here to widen the field so that more possibilities can be seen. Jesus said, "You shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. Truth is meant to free, not humiliate. Let that principle guide the way you share what you perceive. There will be moments when your insight arrives before the collective is ready for it. In those moments, do not force the awakening. Plant the seed. Live the example. Let your life demonstrate what your words cannot yet explain. Those who are aligned will recognize the frequency without needing to be persuaded. A seed does not become stronger because someone keeps opening the soil to check its progress. Give your wisdom time to take root. And the seventh movement is embodying the identity that has been forming beneath all your questions. You're not required to become someone else to fulfill your mission. You are required to stop abandoning the person you already are. The strange ideas, the unusual timing, the instinct to build differently, the refusal to accept empty answers, the capacity to begin again. These are not defects to be corrected. They are materials awaiting conscious direction. Your star family is not asking you to announce yourself as extraordinary. It is asking you to make extraordinary care, honesty, imagination, and courage ordinary in your daily life. Let your brilliance become dependable. Let it help you create instead of merely understand. Let it soften instead of isolate you. Let it guide you toward people who celebrate your expansion rather than negotiate with your light. A gift becomes fully embodied when it is no longer something you display only in special moments, but something you practice faithfully in the small choices of every day. Here is the deeper truth. You are never meant to win by defeating life. You win each time you remain connected to love while life invites you into fear. You win each time you choose a clean beginning over a familiar wound. You win each time you turn an insight into service. You win each time you refuse to use your intelligence to manipulate, control, or punish, and instead use it to create freedom. Your victories have always been larger than the moments other people could see. Every time you survived an environment that tried to make you doubt your mind, a new layer of self-trust was formed. Every time you walked away from a path that looked successful but felt empty, your crystalline template became clearer. Every time you chose not to become bitter, you preserved the original tenderness of your Pleiadian essence. You may not have received applause for these victories, but heaven measures more than what the world celebrates. The invisible choices that preserve your soul are not invisible to the universe. This is why your path may now be accelerating. You have learned enough from the old pattern to stop needing it as a teacher. The people who underestimated you may continue to do so, and that is no longer an obstacle. Their perception is not the authority over your destiny. The silence around your gifts is not evidence that they are absent. The absence of applause is not the absence of impact. Some of the most powerful changes begin quietly in a single person who decides not to repeat what once wounded them. The Seven Sisters have always represented a field of remembrance for you, not a place you must physically reach, but a frequency of unity that becomes available whenever your heart and mind move together. Alcyone, the great central sun in your inner star map, can be felt as the center of coherence within you. When you return to that center, your thoughts stop scattering in every direction. Your choices become simpler. Your energy stops asking, "How can I be accepted?" and begins asking, "What can I bring into harmony?" You may notice signs of this integration in small ways. You may no longer feel compelled to explain every decision. You may recognize manipulation more quickly, but respond with less anger. You may feel drawn to create, teach, design, heal, organize, or build something that has been waiting for your confidence. You may discover that the answer you were searching for externally was already present as a quiet knowing in your body. You may become less interested in proving your depth and more interested in using it well. Honor those changes. They are not random. They are the return of internal leadership. The kingdom within you is becoming ordered again, not through control, but through cooperation between your mind, heart, body, and spirit. Tonight, or whenever you feel ready, place one hand over your heart and one over your mind. Breathe slowly and say, "My intelligence is connected to love. My perception serves unity. I trust the wisdom unfolding through me. I anchor my gifts with humility, courage, and care. I am ready to create what my soul came here to create." Do not say these words to force a transformation. Say them to establish a relationship with yourself. The real activation is not in the sentence. It is in the moment you stop treating your inner knowing as an enemy and begin listening to it as a trusted companion. Let the words move through you gently. Let them become a promise you fulfill through action, patience, and honest self-respect. You are not here to compete with every mind on Gaia. You are here to demonstrate what becomes possible when intelligence is free from fear and guided by the heart. You are here to show that originality does not require disconnection, that success does not require cruelty, and that brilliance can be gentle without becoming weak. Your presence carries a pattern others may recognize before they understand it. Some will call it confidence. Some will call it intuition. Some will simply feel safer around you without knowing why. That is the unity field moving through your choices. You are reminding people, not by force but by embodiment, that the human mind was never meant to be separated from compassion. The Pleiadian message within you is not, "I am better than you." It is, "There is more possible for all of us." That is the distinction that protects your gift from becoming another form of ego. Your brilliance reaches its highest expression when it becomes a doorway for collective remembering. You do not dim when another person awakens. The light is not divided when it is shared. Like a flame lighting another flame, your illumination can multiply without being diminished. So, let the old need to prove yourself dissolve. Let the people who could not see you remain part of the past without becoming judges of the future. Let your next victory be the peace you feel when you no longer need permission to follow your own design. Let your ideas mature in privacy. Let your heart choose the environments where your mind can breathe. The right people will not demand that you become less complex in order to be loved. They will meet your depth with curiosity and your growth with joy. You are not late. You are not too strange. You are not imagining the difference between what is authentic and what is merely familiar. You have been learning how to carry a wider perspective through a world that often rewards repetition. Now, you are learning the final refinement, to carry that perspective with warmth. This is the moment your star family has been preparing you for, not the moment when everyone finally agrees with you, but the moment when agreement is no longer required for you to move forward. Your path is opening because you are becoming internally aligned with the one who was always capable of walking it. The door is not opening because you have finally earned the right to enter. It is opening because you have remembered that you were never truly separate from the wisdom guiding you. Before you scroll, take a moment to be part of the unity grid forming here. Drop one heart intention in the comments, something real. Then respond to someone else's with love or encouragement. This isn't content, it's collective Pleiadian reunion. Energy multiplies when hearts connect. If something in this message resonated with your soul, don't keep it to yourself. Someone in your orbit is waiting for this exact activation from their star family. Share it, and if you felt your heart open, subscribe. Stay connected to the frequency. You're not just watching, you're remembering. This is your sacred space. Your Pleiadian family is here, and we're just getting started.